Hello, it's Travis Edwards with another mental check. Take a shot of your positive vibes. Let's go! So welcome to another episode of the Mental Check. Today, I'm going to be talking about barrier versus distractions. I took a course back in November of 2019 here in Toronto, and we were learning about what you call the spiritual universe. And the last concept was something that I really paid attention to because it is truly one of the most valuable lessons I could learn. And it was called barrier versus distractions, right? So when we typically have a goal, so we're at point A and we want to go to point B, what generally happens, and we've experienced this, we've talked about this before, we have what you call that terror barrier between A and B, right? But we also have these little C's all around us, which are called distractions. From point A to point B, A is where you are right now, B is where you want to go. There's a barrier in between, and then there's a whole bunch of different distractions called C. Just call it C, right? So what we need to understand is that the minute that we're going after our goals, it is okay to have a barrier. In fact, the bigger the barrier, the better. The bigger the barrier, the better. The more that you see a challenge, the more that it's harder for you, that's what you want. Versus having what you call distractions. And let's drop into distractions before we're talking to barriers. Distractions are anything that would basically take you away from your goals. Anything that would take you away from your goal. This could be including going on social media. This could mean anything. Think of it. Anything you could distract yourself with, watching TV, anything you could think of, that is what a distraction is. It is anything that takes you off of course from going to A to B, right? And so don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with distractions, but distractions are there how you should use distractions as a form of reset. But you should not be having distractions be the reason why you can't get from A to B. And generally, that's what a lot of us want. We want to have a lot of distractions and very little barriers. The honest truth is, going from A to B is pretty tricky. It's not going to be an easy process. But what typically happens and why people are not successful is because of this thing called distractions. We want a lot of distractions and very minimal barriers. Now, the barrier is a very big obstacle or a perceived obstacle that could stop you from there. And without a barrier in your life is meaningless. The barrier is what allows you to develop as a person. It allows you to grow. It allows you so that when you break through, you become a different person. That's what barriers are for. So the bigger the barrier, the bigger the goal, the bigger the barrier, the better for you, because you have to raise your standards. You have to change in order to get there. It is as simple as that. That's how it works. So you don't want to lower your barrier. You want to raise your barrier. You need barriers in your life. Barriers in your life means meaning. And distractions can take you away from getting from A to B, which is your goal. So I'm not going to make this any longer than this, but we have basically barriers and distractions. When you're going from A to B, there's always going to be a barrier or something that's going to stop you from getting to your goal. And that's okay. The bigger the barrier, the better. The problem is distractions. Anything that could take you off your goal, that constantly distracts you or takes you off course, that could be social media, the internet, a spouse, anything that takes you off your goal, you have to minimize that as much as possible. And you can control it, and you'll get from A to B in record time if you learn how to get rid of the distractions. That's how I've done it. So that's the subject on barrier versus distractions. Tomorrow we're going to talk about falling into the gap. This lesson is going to be very, very important because all of us talk about falling into the gap, or we talk about not falling into the gap, but more so we talk as if we're in a gap. And you don't know what I mean right now, but tomorrow you'll absolutely mean. So until tomorrow, peace. Have a good one, guys.